Roberto Saviano, the author of Gomorrah, his exposure of the Italian mafia, says the most corrupt country in the world is Britain. Britain sits at the centre of a global network of corruption. The City of London is basically the hub for the global secrecy regimes and tax havens in which criminals hide their money. So it's no surprise to see Robert Jenrick, a government minister, clearly colluding with a property developer and former porn baron and former owner of Express newspapers, Richard Desmond, to try to rush through approval for a massive new development before it could be subject to new rules in order to ensure that there's sufficient affordable housing in it. He overrode the advice of his own officials, he overrode the advice of the planning inspectorate, having talked to Richard Desmond at a Conservative Party fundraising meeting, where Desmond showed him a video on his phone of how wonderful this development was going to be. If Jenrick's desire to have this development approved had gone ahead, Desmond would have saved £50 million in exchange for a £12,000 donation to the Tory party. It's a pretty good investment. Another government minister, Nadhim Zahawi, went on the BBC to try to justify what had been happening. And he said, well, you know, if citizens want to talk to the government, they could just come to one of our Tory fundraising events. Why not?
If people go to a fundraiser in their local area in Doncaster for the Conservative Party, they'll be sitting next to MPs and other people in their local authority.
There's a name for that. In any other country in the world, people would know exactly what that name is. It's corruption. If, in order to be heard by the government, you have to go to the governing party, which should be kept completely separate for matters like this, and pay them several £1,000s, which you have to do if you're going to attend one of these high-level fundraisers where you meet ministers.
Well, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
That is straight down the line, unequivocal corruption.
Indeed it is.
And yet, Robert Jenrick, the minister at the centre of this scandal, remains in his post. And even as more and more details are exposed, Boris Johnson's office says the matter is closed. Nothing to see here. So just as with the scandal around Dominic Cummings breaking the lockdown rules, what the government seems to be doing is just riding this out. Wait till the storm in the media subsides, wait till people have moved on to other issues, and then carry on as usual. And from the government's point of view, yeah, that works as a tactic, because we do have short attention spans, and the media in particular has short attention spans. But from the point of view of democracy, from the point of view of the health of our political system, it's a catastrophe. This is just one tiny glimpse of the fundamental corruption that sits at the heart of the British state.
Don't forget your money.
Where behind closed doors, at Tory party fundraisers, where the real business of this nation is done, oligarchs sit down with ministers and say, this is what we want, and the ministers say, sure, here it is. You can't address corruption in Britain until you realise that it is systemic. Just like institutional racism within the police force, we have institutional corruption within the government. And if you just take it case by case and you say, oh, something bad happened here, and oh, look, something else happened bad over there, then you're not going to see the big picture, which is that basically this is a corrupt state. As Roberto Saviano says, the most corrupt state of all. We're not going to change this unless we change it fundamentally. Unless we dethrone the City of London as the global king of corruption, as the centre of this network of corruption that extends outwards into tax havens and secrecy regimes elsewhere, then individual cases like the deal between Jenrick and Desmond will keep happening, and the great majority of them we won't see at all. Double Down News brings the big issues together. It shows how they fit into the wider story. The story of where we are and how we got here, and the story of how we need to change, how we need to build a better world. So please support Double Down News through Patreon and allow this journalism to flourish.